All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Bachakodash. Double honor to our venerable apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, and peace and blessings to the Lord's elect, the house of David. All right, and shalom to you, brothers and sisters who might be joining me on this common board today. All right, Lord, willing you be edified and informed. Why Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Barakatham. All right, and today I believe is August the 16th, 2024 AD, the hopeful year of Jacob's trouble. All right, and as we already know, the Hudat already declared a public health emergency of international concern a couple of days ago. All right, regarding this MP. All right, and obviously we all know that that's not a secret. That eventually they were going to do that because we've been reporting on that since last year, or even the year before, right? About how they were doing all this One Accord Demic Treaty, and once they get it passed, which we did say that they were going to get it passed, that pretty much 194 countries are going to be under the authoritarian rule of the World Health Organization. Okay, and with that, we're going to see a lot of the end time prophecies be fulfilled up onto the fulfillment of the mandatory implementation of the MOTB. Okay, now you have organizations like the WEF, all right, headed by Professor Klaus Schwab, of course, okay, who a couple of years ago mentioned that the Chinese model is a very attractive model. And what does he mean by that? He means that the model that they're going to use around the world, okay, will follow after the way of the Moabites or the Chinese model. Okay, and I do have a video queued up that I did want to show a couple of videos ago, but the spirit kind of moved into a different direction. So today we're going to focus more on that. All right, just to show you a little bit of what's coming. All right, the steps that are leading to this new so-called world is exactly what we're hearing about, which is the beginning of sorrows that Yahushua mentioned. Okay, in the book of Matthew, the 24th chapter, right? So let's start off with that real quick, and then we're gonna jump into it. All right. Actually, let's go up a little bit. All right, this is the book of Matthew, chapter 24. All right, you know, this is reading these precepts now. It's kind of crazy because now you're starting to see these things that the Lord said was going to happening word for word. Okay, so it's a beautiful thing, and that's why in the book of Romans, the 13th chapter, that it says that salvation is nearer than when we believed. All right, all these things that's happening is all happening to the benefit of the elect. All right, and to the detriment of Esau, Edom, and the rest of the wicked of this world. Okay, and you're gonna start seeing the Lord start casting judgment, heavy judgment. All right, don't put it past the Lord to see. All right, a lot of people get jacked up out of nowhere. Okay, in the next coming days and weeks. All right, you're gonna start seeing some things. Okay, but let's read this. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 24, start at verse 6. It says, "And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet." Why is the end not yet? Because we still have a few more prophecies to go. Okay, but these wars and rumors of wars is the alarm bell sounding of the end. Okay, and it's the Lord is doing it in an obvious manner for people to start paying attention. But as it tells you in the book of I believe Second Ezra, the 9th chapter, that with all these things that's going to happen, they're still not going to repent. Okay, as a matter of fact, they're going to get worse and worse. All right. So going down verse 7, it says, "For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences," right? That's the key, "and earthquakes in diverse places." So these three things we are seeing right now as we speak. Okay, that's something that if you're being objective, all right, and actually paying attention to what's going on, you know, geopolitically, even in the so-called homeland. All right, famines is a big thing. Now it's being done in an orchestrated kind of way. right? Where Esau is behind it. So it's kind of looking like more inflation, but inflation is going to lead to actually having nothing on the shelves. Okay, the inflation part is just the beginning of the famines. Now wait till when the economy is officially up out of here, when they start making that switch over to the new digital way of doing things. That's when you're going to see some things. Okay, that's when everything is going to make sense. A couple of days ago, they said that hackers had hacked into America's, pretty much all Americans' social security. All right. So again, the Chinese model. All right. Whatever they did with that, nobody's following up with it. Right. Shouldn't the FBI or all these different agencies be investigating something like that? But you're not hearing any of that because they're the ones behind all of this anyway. Okay. Going to the days where all these agencies pretended to at least care, like, they'll look into it, or the NSA is doing this or whatever. No. Okay. No. It's just like, oh, it just happens and then we just got to figure it out. And then that's it. It's all over. Nobody talks about it ever again. Okay. But now we're seeing the famines, we're seeing the pestilences now starting to pick up, right? Tedros, I mean, the WHO is coming out saying that not only have they declared the public health emergency, but also they're gonna push for countries to start locking down their people. Okay, and then it's not just the mpox or the MP; it's different other diseases that's gonna start springing out very soon as well. So that's another fulfillment of pestilences. Okay, it says an earthquakes. Was that San Francisco or Cali? I think what last was it last 2 days or so? They got hit with like 4.4 magnitude earthquake. All right, and pretty much the beginning of this year, you've been seeing a lot of earthquakes, more than usual. Okay, the past few years, you've been seeing a lot of earthquakes, but this year, shit, it started off with Japan getting rocked with like a 7.0 or something like that. And now they're saying that Japan is also getting ready for a mega earthquake. So who knows, man? Cali's also going to get rocked very soon, right? So we'll see. We'll see. All right, it says in diverse places, so different places. All these are the beginning of sorrows. Okay, now let's jump down to verse 19 on down, real quick. It says, and woe to them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days. So that's a lot of you women who are having children now. Okay, you've seen all this stuff that's going on. Life is getting harder and harder. Here it is. You bring another child into this world. Now, I'm not the Most High, so I'm not going to say, oh, you're not supposed to have kids. But these are things that, if you're prudent and you see the evils that's to come, you're not going to want to bring a child into this world right now. It's hard enough to fend for yourself. How much more another person who's depending on you for their survival? Or you could barely make it out, right? So, ultimately, if the Lord blesses you with a child, let's pray that it is a blessing and you're gonna make it out, but not a curse that's gonna bring you down too. All right. So continuing, Matthew 24:20 says, but pray ye that your flight be not in the winter, neither on the Sabbath day. Okay, so why is the Lord saying this? Is because there's a high chance or high possibility that we're gonna be in fight or flight mode, all right, in this so-called dark winter that's supposed to be happening very soon. Okay, with the electric grid going down, you're gonna be hearing on the news, oh, all of the Northeast has been hit with with the electric grid, and the power's out, and nobody was expecting it, and there's freezing temperatures, and man, I tell you, people are lined up to go to these FEMA camps. Hey, who knows? you know, and they're gonna have to get your digital ID, or you have to show some Vanessa passport certification or whatever the case may be in order to get those services that they took away from you from the beginning. All right. So let's keep going. It says, for then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be. Okay, because this is going to be the end. This is how the end happens. Okay, it ends in tribulation, great tribulation. Okay, it says, and except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved, but for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. Okay, so that's the key. If it wasn't for the elect, man, the Most High would have destroyed this place a long, long time ago. All right, it's like the things that man, I'm not even. It's too much. All right, but let's get this real quick. All right, it says here, China begins screening arrivals for Mpox or MP as Pakistan reports first case of deadly virus. So now it's in Pakistan. Okay, so now you see how this thing is picking up. You see how this thing is picking up, right? It says China announced Friday it will begin screening people and goods entering the country for MP over the next 6 months. Interesting, right? 6 months. So we're in what? August, September, October, November, December, January, February. 6 months. It's going to lead us into February. Very interesting timing. It says just 2 days after the World Health Organization sounded its highest possible alarm over the worsening MP situation in Africa. And it's something I thought about too, why this is popping off in Africa and not some of these sodomite European countries, because Mpox is really something that they said, right? They said that it was something that traveled or was happening due to these JEY community people. Okay, so you got all these different European countries that they go all in with that kind of lifestyle. Why isn't it starting over there? Why would this something like this be happening in Africa, in a country? I think it was Congo, right? DR Congo, something like that, right? The Democratic Republic of Congo. I think that's what it's that's the country. Okay, so it's very interesting that it will happen over there. All right, and that's you got Jake in there as well. Okay, the Congo, you got Jake in there as well. So would it be a thing where they're like, let's try it over here, let's start it over here, and start wiping them out at the same time doing a test to see how it's going to work on the so-called black population over here as well, and around the world. Okay, it's very interesting. We don't put these things past Esau to do. All right, because his main goal is to destroy the Israelites. He will do anything in his power to do so. All right, it tells you in the book of Psalm, the 64th chapter, right, that they do a diligent search. All right, that their inward thought is deep. All right, they're evil. Okay, so it continues. It says people traveling from countries where virus outbreaks have occurred, who have been in contact with MP cases or display symptoms, should quote take the initiative to declare to customs when entering the country, end quote. China's customs administration said in a statement that that is a sure way of bringing some type of thing to spread, because you gonna put the trust in people to do that. Hmm? When they know exactly what happens when you declare something like that, it's, you're not going to be treated like a oh, we're going to take care of you, make sure you're good. It's literally your rights, your freedoms being taken away, you're being abused, all kinds of different shit that they're going to do to you. You think people just going to openly just declare, hey, I think I got some MP on me, you know what I'm saying, just so you know, so do what you got to do. No, they're going to swing through the border like ain't nobody's business. They don't want to be known or seen. If anything they have, they'll hide it. So then that means they got to bring some type of technology to stop people from, you know, getting away with it, if you will. See, it says vehicles, containers, and items from areas with pox cases should also be sanitized, and the statement added. So they're letting you know that they're gonna have checkpoints. All right, this when I read this all I think, checkpoints. Okay, so they're gonna be checking vehicles, they're gonna be checking containers, like the TSA, how they check everything, including freaking baby milk and shit. They gotta scan all that. Yeah, that type of shit. You know, you scan your face and everything, and then it shows if you have any red dots. Oh, you can't go outside. If the shit shows green, oh, okay, you good. You could walk through. You can go wherever you gotta go. You know. So continue. It says, Sweden on Thursday announced the first case outside Africa of a more dangerous variant of MP, more dangerous variant. So now this also got variants to it. It's not just the CV. The MP also got variants. Okay, so we're gonna have to look out for that, right? It says with the WHO warning um, that further imported cases of this new strain in Europe was likely. Pakistan health officials also reported a first case on Friday, adding that the affected person had traveled from a Gulf country. So, all this um, new age technology and, health, advancements that they have, you mean to tell me that a country like Congo, how many people, actually travel to Congo like that? Like it's like a main thing. They don't really, it's not like a vacation spot per se, you know? So it's not like you're just gonna have mad people just flying in and out of Congo like it's like a commercial spot where everybody like is, mad hustle and bustle going on. You don't really hear that. So it should be more of a place where they could control if there was some type of outbreak, for real, for real. But they just coming out and saying, well, we noticed that there's an outbreak. They didn't really give us an amount of people who got affected by it or what's really going on. They just said, oh, there's an outbreak and we deem it a public health emergency, global. All right, so that means we're gonna have all the countries gonna have to take a global action in order to solve this one problem here that started in Congo. Well, in a few weeks, it's gonna be everywhere. So let's just start preparing for it. Why don't you do anything to stop it? You know, why are you gonna tell us about it and then tell people to prepare because it's coming regardless? Like it's like, oh, okay, so you got it planned out. Hmm? Hmm. It says the WHO, the WHO, on Wednesday had sounded its highest possible alarm over the worsening MP situation in Africa. Worsening, no numbers, no nothing. It's just worsening. We should just take your word for it. It says calling it a global public health emergency. Just a day before, the African Union's health watchdog declared its own public health emergency over the intensifying outbreak. All right, so that's what they want the world to believe, right? So because of that, China is out here doing their thing from Congo to China in less than a week. Okay, they're not saying that Chinese people have it. They're just saying that we just testing to see if you guys have it yet, because you're gonna get it, and we're gonna start doing our thing. Okay. So this brings me to this, right? This video here, it's about almost 13 minutes long. All right, and I'll do my best to let it just play through, but sometimes you got to stop it just for the YouTube thing. They might just give you a copyright strike or whatever the case may be. But we'll see if we can, go through with it. All right, and with the safe, was it fair use, fair use, fair use. All right, Vice News. All right, and they had this 4 years ago. Okay, and watching it now, I saw it 4 years ago, but watching it now, it's like, damn, that's crazy how we used to think. Well, I used to think, damn, that's crazy how China's already going through this. And then now it's like, okay, that was just a test for what's coming over here. It's like, okay, it makes sense. It all makes sense now. All the technological advancements, all the FFs that they've had to bring in new measures, and the government agencies always building up on how to, protect the citizens, but yet they're always doing things to come against us and all that. Yeah, it's like it's all making sense because they're following after the Chinese model. All right, but without further ado, let's get right into this video.
China has the largest video surveillance network in the world and plans to expand it to more than 600 million cameras over the next 2 years. With the rise in facial recognition and artificial intelligence, it feels more like someone is watching all those cameras at all times.
I'm in China, and I just got busted for jaywalking with facial recognition technology.
Stations like this one are part of a new plan by the Chinese government to publicly shame citizens caught breaking the law.
If you cross the street against the light, cameras with facial recognition technology will take a picture of your face, cross-reference it with your government ID, and then post it up there to embarrass you.
But China isn't embracing facial recognition just to catch jaywalkers. The technology is starting to...
Hey, real quick, if the video is too fast, let me know and I could just slow it down. But typically, just to get through it quickly, I just speed it up a little bit. All right.
About anywhere you can imagine. It helps make menu recommendations at your local fast food spot. You can also pay for your food with your face.
It doesn't matter whether you smile or not, even though it's called Smile to Pay. Even if you are wearing a wig or have a heavy makeup, it will still recognize you.
It even curbs waste of toilet paper at public bathrooms.
Grooms loads a complete serving of fruits.
My gift. This is all I get for the next 9 minutes. And then I come back again and try to get more.
Chinese tech companies are now at the cutting edge of developing new and sophisticated ways to do video analysis.
Right now we're going into SenseTime, one of the biggest companies involved in developing that technology. Oh, that's me.
这个是我们的人脸识别的门禁，那它可以自动的识别人脸，然后方便员工进出。而你站在门口，它很快就会把门打开。对于外来的人员来
But also remember this, that one thing that they said that just caught my attention was they said something that's being developed. All right, and a lot of the World Economic Forum people always coming out and they're always talking about development, right? Because this is they've gone through the stage of testing, creating, testing, and now it's about to be revealed, right? The three steps, which are the MOTB technology, the MOTB mentality, and then the MOTB reality. Okay, so we've witnessed, as is written in Revelation 13 verse 16, and he causeth all. We've witnessed the causeth, which is the fashioning, the construction, right, the building, and ultimately the development of the MOTB system. And now we're about to see them transition everything into the MOTB reality. Okay, so all these technological developments and advancements is leading to a so-called microchip population, all right, all around the world. All right, basically, if you don't comply, all right, you will not be able to buy or sell as is written in the scriptures. Okay, we've been saying that, we've been going into it for years, but now it's becoming a reality. Okay, so a lot more people are going to start tuning in, all right, because this is all going to affect them directly. Some are going to resist and they'll pay a heavy price for it. And those who don't resist and they go along with it, they will also pay a heavier price for it, according to biblical prophecy in the book of Revelation, the 14th chapter. Okay, so let's continue.
它站在门口门并不会打开，
So you know when someone's late.
所以我们也可以知道到底是每个人都
He said, we know everyone's in and out time. Okay, let's go.
几点来几点走的。所以这个呢是我们的一个肢体
This is our gesture detection system.
肢体识别的一个功能。这个是我们的一个
This is our guest sign-in system for conferences or events. So it's pretty much, it does everything. Wow.
会场迎宾签到的一个系统，那它可以作为你的传递。
You can use your face as the access ID.
到说每次进
That's all going to what? Biometrics. Okay, instead of an actual card. Okay, so now it's no more gadgets or devices. Now it's you. You, the person, are the one who gets the access or access denied. Right?
刷卡，我们可以替代这么一个方式。这个是我们给线下
This is our offline commercial showcase
这种
machine.
广告营销互动的一个平台，它可以很快的识别出
It
你
can quickly estimate how pretty you are.
魅力值，然后表情，
Facial expression. She, bro, look at that shit. What the fuck? Yeah, they're lying to her. Facial expression, wearing sunglasses.
墨镜、欢乐值、年龄以及你的性别。那相应的，它会有一个这个颜
Those
值的一个
things
排行榜，
affects your beauty.
都可以在一个后台做到。Yeah, now you are the number one.
Now you're number one.
But despite all the goofy applications we were first shown, much of the tech since time is developing has serious real-world implications.
这边是我们给智慧城市的
This is a system we made for the smart and safe city. There you go. Right? That's their catch. This shows you that this is all coming here to America, Babylon the Great. Okay? They play those kind of games with the semantics. Smart and safe city. Like, Chinese people don't care about no smart and safe city. Nobody does anything stupid over there. That smart shit is all here to America. All right. Remember, they used to create a lot of these technology. These companies used to build here in America. They had companies and factories and shit over here in America, which created jobs for the middle class. All right. But then eventually they said, nah, it's better if we just send everything overseas. We develop these things at a cheaper price. All right. And we come back and sell it over here to Americans at a higher price. All right. That's why a lot of the products sold here in America by a lot of these companies is all made in China. Okay. It could have been made here, but it's made in China. All right. And then they bring it over here and then they make money off of people.
是打造了一整套的系统。然后呢，这里头的细节呢，我们可以
It says we can see a lot of detailed labels here on the screen,
到很多标签，包括人的着装上身和下
including the person's clothing, right? So it's going to pick up all of this, right? Adult, long sleeves, long pants, gray top, gray bottom. And that's enough of a description for anyone to just zoom in on anyone who has any of this, you know? So, hey, it's going to be what they call the panopticon, okay? All seeing.
着装，然后颜色、性别、
The color of the clothing, the sex, and age. It's going to tell you all that.
龄，然后对于车辆，我们可以识别到3000多种。
When it comes to cars, we can recognize over 3,000 different models, including specific brands.
车型，这个包括到具体品牌。那这样一个产品，它叫
This video structure system can filter the important information.
结构化，它能够很好的把视频中的一些关键信息提取出来。比如说，我今天要找中午11点钟经过这个，
If I'm looking for, let me see.
比如说我今天
It says, for example, damn. For example, if I am looking for a red car at this intersection at 11 a.m., we can detect it very quickly. There you go. Look at that. So nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. That's crazy. All right. This is the Chinese model that's coming over here to Babylon the Great. All right. This is what we made for an area called the Bund in Shanghai. It detects the crowd of people at the Bund. Man. The picture on the top left is the original picture. The bottom left picture shows the estimated time people stay in the plaza. Wow. The red areas indicate that those people have stayed there for a long time. Damn, that's crazy. Yo. Let's listen to what she's saying about this.
是这些人群在这儿住的时间非常长啊。
So it can track suspicious activity within a large crowd.
它更多的是
What does suspicious activity mean? They keep pushing this. What is suspicious activity? It's not like, oh, it's going to catch criminals committing crimes. Now it's just suspicious activity. It's like, what does that even mean? You know? It can catch unusual situations in real time. What does that even mean? That's too vague, right? What do you mean catch unusual situations? Like people can't just be normal? You know, now it's like, okay, well, if you're not compliant to the system and the way we expect you to move, then that's unusual. We're gonna catch that.
及时的发现一些异常状况，能够做更实时的响应。
So that action can be taken right away with minimal damage. Man, shit.
减少损失。
In other words, hey, soon you're not gonna be able to communicate. If they see two people standing in one corner talking to each other, that's like, oh, what's going on? Zoom into that. Listen to what they're saying. What are they talking about? Are they applying some type of rebellion? Are they talking about the Bible? What's going on with that? You know? So that's how it's going to be. Everyone's going to be looking over their shoulder because nobody wants to be heard or overheard saying something that could get them in trouble, right? It's like that's exactly what's about to happen, man. You know?
Are you ever bothered by having no anonymity because there are cameras watching all the time?
从我自己的体验，其实对这样的一些事情并不
I personally, I am not bothered or worried. Yeah, because he's already bought and paid for by the system. When the MOTB comes out, he's gonna take it. If he doesn't have some already. All right. He's a slave, a perfect slave in the system. So he's not bothered by it. You know? He's not a threat to them. All right, look at he got no beard, no nothing. He's look how he's dressed. Look at this guy. Look. He ain't no threat. You know? He ain't bothered and worried. So they ain't bothered and worried about him either.
担忧。但是呢，像这样的一些
But when this system is in use in the real world,
或者说技术应用到实战的场景中去以后呢，如果说
and you want to do something bad, listen to this guy,
坏事以后就要小心了。
then you should be careful. Shit.
But the reach of this technology goes way beyond public areas and increasingly infiltrates private spaces as well.
We're going into a government housing complex. Instead of doormen, they have security cameras with facial recognition technology. And we're going to go see how it works.
这是一个门禁和一个摄像头关联。这个咱们现在看到
It says every entrance is like that. It says what we are looking at now is the information we have on our residents. Right.
方面呢，是我们的一个，这里面可以看到保证人员
We can see how often registered residents enter and exit. Jeez.
每个日期它的保证人员的出入情况，非保证人员的和陌生人的
And how often the non-residents guests enter and exit.
出入情况。
This is the number of visitors, and this is all of the residents. And this is our most popular person with 142.
然后呢，我们每个月
By the end of every month,
就会出一个月报，提供给房
we write up a report and hand it to the housing regulators, who then hand it over to who? The so-called authorities. Okay, because as we speak right now, they're building cars that manufacturers are building cars that collect your data, right? When they call data collection, that's double speak / political correct way of saying surveillance. Okay, whenever you hear data collection, that's surveillance. Okay, So what they're doing is they're collecting all the information, what you say, how you say it, your favorite things. You know, when you're in your car, the kind of settings you have, the kind of music you listen to, or what are you listening to, right? Are you plugged into YouTube? Are you listening to the truth? Are you listening to something that criticizes the government? It's like this is the kind of stuff that they're gathering. Okay, what are you purchasing? Who do you contact the most, right? When you by yourself or on your phone or whatever the case may be, right? And then they gather all that information and they put you in categories. All right, you're in the red list, the blue list, or the yellow list. All right. So all this smart technology, all is there, all that they're using that for is what? Data collection, otherwise known as surveillance on the people. All right, so you might think nobody's watching you, but they want to be like the Most High. So whatever you do, they watching you, they're listening. All right, and then just like the Lord does, one day you just off guard doing your own thing, strikes. That's how these devils want to move too. All right.
就是监管部门，因为这是它连
It says it has been running for almost a year.
现在这个项目跑了快1年了，然后可能它
So it has collected quite a lot of data. In other words, it has surveilled quite a lot of people.
比较多，
How much more is your system doing that you're not allowed to show us?
然后功能挺多的，然后
It says there are many
在这
functions.
边的话
As someone in my position, I can't reveal very much to you.
不太方便透露太多
I hope you understand.
项目介绍。
In China, there are few protections limiting how much information the government can collect about its 1.4 billion citizens.
I don't always have.
Advertisements all of a sudden.
Everyone over the age of 16 is required to have an official state-issued ID card.
Boom. And that's coming here to America, known as a real ID. Okay, I believe the DHS said by May of 2025, May 7th of 2025, all Americans must have a real ID if they want to travel in terms of flying commercially or whatever the case may be. All right, in order to visit government buildings, all right, you're going to have a real ID. So let's go.
Government now wants to use to centralize all that information. And China is investing heavily in tech companies to help transform that government data into a virtually omniscient surveillance network.
Virtually omniscient surveillance. Virtually omniscient. Omniscient going into omni means all, and then scient going into knowing. All right, ciencia, to know, science. All right, so omniscient means to know, all knowing.
One of those companies is Medvi. It recently received a capital investment of nearly $500 million, part of which is from a state-run VC fund. But the name chosen for its premier piece of technology is a bit of a tell. Skynet. What is
Woo-hoo. That's it right there. Right? Skynet. What is Skynet? Let's see. Skynet. Skynet. Let's read a little bit about what Skynet is all about. It says Skynet is an artificial neural network-based conscious group or group mind and artificial general superintelligence system that serves as the antagonistic force of the Terminator franchise. In the first film, it is stated that Skynet was created by Cyberdyne or Cyberdyne Systems for SAC-NORAD. When Skynet gained self-awareness, humans tried to deactivate it, prompting it to retaliate with a counter-value nuclear attack in self-defense, an event which humankind in or from the future refers to as Judgment Day. All right, so that Esau creates AI, and then AI ends up leading to their destruction. Okay, as AI means heap of ruins. Okay, it says in this future, John Connor forms a human resistance against Skynet's machines, which include Terminators, and ultimately leads the resistance to victory. Throughout the film series, Skynet sends various Terminator models back in time to attempt to kill Connor and ensure Skynet's victory. So this doesn't sound like a good thing. Okay, this does not sound like a good thing at all. So for China to be using, all right, a network called Skynet, that's very, very interesting. And again, like I said, this is all something that's being prepared to be brought here to America, Babylon the Great. Okay. We get a quick precept just to buffer before we go back into the video. All right. The brother Naquam Shalom Yabashim Yashar Brakatah, he said, Psalms 37 verse 32. It says, "The wicked watched the righteous and seeketh to slay him." And when you see all these technological advancements that's going on, it's not to benefit the people per se. All right, it's to benefit those who are creating the technology. And they're not creating it, all right, just to keep people safe. They're creating it to control the population. All right. And ultimately, those who don't comply, which are the righteous, all right, Esau is going to seek to slay us. Okay, with their military, all right, with their poisoning of the food, the water, all right, everything in their power, okay, to destroy the righteous. But that's where the spiritual power is going to come in. All right, another precept here in the book of Psalm chapter 21 verse 11, it says, "For they intended evil against thee, they imagined mischief, or they imagined a mischievous device which they are not able to perform." That's right. Okay, so their attempt, all right, to create this technological godlike mode, okay, to achieve what they call artificial immortality, that's gonna fail. That's a vain thought. And we tell them straight to their face, that's a vain thought. It's never gonna happen. All right, it will never happen, man. Okay, as is written in the book of Job, the 20th chapter, when he's about to fill his belly, okay, in the fullness of his sufficiency, when he's about to fill his belly, all right, the Spirit of the Most High is going to cast his fury upon him. Okay, and that's exactly what's going to happen. So your shit is not going to happen. All right. So let's go back into the video. All right.
The Terminator is the favorite film of
Oh, look at that.
founder. So they use the same name, but they put something good into the system.
So, okay, in the Terminator, Skynet is evil, rains down death from the sky. But in China, Skynet is good.
Yeah, the difference.
He said, yeah, that's the difference. You can't take something evil and make it good. All right. Whatever the Lord has intended that's evil is going to stay evil. Okay. And all the technology that you're creating is for evil purposes from evil source. Okay. Esau is not going to create technology. Him being evil, he's going to create a technology that's supposed to be good. This guy's delusional, man. He has no idea what the hell is coming.
Do you think your facial recognition technology will change China?
Everything happened in the public can be record. We can know exactly what happened in every second, in every corner of the city. This is a video stream in a subway station by one smart camera, so we can capture every face in real time. See, like some criminal person is out there. There is the red box, so there is a warning to the police station that there is a criminal person. So I need.
See, so those of us who are in the truth, they're gonna put a system out there that's gonna capture our faces. You know, everywhere we go, we always gonna be in the red. All right, we always gonna be in the red, and the police is gonna be notified, and they're gonna be looking for us. You know, like the movie or the show Code 8, where they had all that superpowers. So the government was coming after them and shit. You know, they show you that in movies all the time, how the government is always going to be looking for those who have supernatural powers. Okay, and hey, we're gonna see, man.
Pay them.
So when it looks out onto a crowd, it's tracking all these faces and it's cross-checking those faces against what?
Criminal database.
And how many fugitives have been apprehended through the system?
Over 3,000 cases in nationwide. Yeah, just one year.
In 1 year?
Yeah, 1 year.
Wow. So what you're working on now already seems like sci-fi. What do you think the future will look like in like 5 years?
Have you seen a film just like Black Mirror? You just stand there and your face there is a point. So maybe that is the future.
But
Whew. Social credit score. All right. A social credit system. That episode in Black Mirror, that's exactly what it was. And what it did was it modified people's behavior, because the higher your credit, the better of a chance you had in, you know, your relations with the public and also private, right? So-called private, that is, because there's no such thing as privacy anymore, right? But your status in society reflected based on your social credit score. Okay, so this lady was very obsessed with making sure that her numbers were always high. You know what I'm saying? I think the highest you can go is a 5 or something like that. And if you got a 4.9, oh my goodness, oh, you know, I'm a bad citizen. Oh my goodness, what's going on? That type of shit, you know? So that's also going to get people to what? To comply. You know, if you do bad things, it affects your social credit score, which that means that your status goes lower. That means you're going to lose out on things in society. You know, you can't travel, right? Because now your credit score is too low. Okay, you can't own a car, you can't have a house. Okay, you can't have, certain types of clothing, right? Certain types of food you can't buy. You know, that type of restriction. You see.
That's like a horror show.
Yeah.
How you gonna laugh at something like it's like a horror show? Yeah, yeah. He scratches his head. All right, so they know, man. They know exactly what they're doing, man.
Because maybe that is the future.
But that's like a horror show.
Yeah. But I think that is maybe kind of the future. Every people have their social points, I think.
If you like spit them on the sidewalk, it
Yeah,
would
your points will.
and your body go down.
See, you see. So there'll be no more freedom. That lifestyle of I'm free and I can just chill or live life. They ain't none of that no more. All right, none of that. All right, real quick. Hey, beautiful. Hey, Yahweh Yahweh's warrior. All right, this is a book of Isaiah, chapter 5, verse 20. It says, "Woe unto them that call evil good, and good evil, that put darkness for light, and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet, and sweet for bitter." Okay, so that's what turning everything upside down, as is written in the book of Psalms, the 86th chapter. Is it 85? Let me see if I can find it real quick. Psalms 82. Psalms 82. All right, Psalms 82 and 5. All right, there's a book of Psalms chapter 82 and verse 5. It says, "They know not, neither will they understand. They walk on in darkness. All the foundations of the earth are out of course." Okay, so everything that they do is backwards. All right, good is become evil, as you can see. I don't gotta explain that, right? And evil has looked at as good. People worship the creature more than the creator. Okay, people are more sensitive or offended by what you say to other people than what they do against the Heavenly Father and His will and His laws. Okay, if you criticize somebody or you chastise them, right, by giving them the truth, that's all you got to do now. Just tell somebody the truth, and they get offended. They get so offended that they don't even take into account that, hey, hold on a second. The power who created all of us, right, says that this is how I'm supposed to live, and I can't do this, or I can or should do this. But I'm doing the opposite. That's a problem. Maybe I should, listen to what these men are telling me so I could repent. Nah. They don't look at it like they get offended, like their feelings mean something. We care about how you feel about what we're telling you. These people, man, they finished. It's over with. All right. But they're more focused on not hurting somebody's feelings rather than the Heavenly Father's will. That's why you have all these other camps do the things that they do, because they don't want to offend themselves. They don't want to offend the next person. Sickening shit, man. All right. Nice precept right here. Okay, there's a book of Proverbs, chapter 4, verse 16 to 17, the NLT. It says, "For evil people can't sleep until they have done their evil deed for the day. They can't rest until they've caused someone to stumble." Verse 17, "They eat the food of wickedness and drink the wine of violence." That's right, and that's who exemplifies or embodies that precept. Esau, Edom. Okay, and they're gonna show the world exactly what the scriptures say they are, or who they are, the devils that they are, and the wicked people that they are. They're going to show the world very soon who they really are. All right. All this stuff that you about to start seeing, what we're watching right now, and how it's going to play out in the next few weeks and months. They're going to show people their real horns, how they really are. We've been warning you that these people are the devil. But people, you guys are spewing hate. Oh, you can't talk about them like that. Those are God's people. They're going to show the world who they really are, man. And we can't wait. The Most High going to put that heavy spirit on them, and they're going to show their horns and go start fucking you people up, man. All right? And we can't wait. You defending the devil, he's going to show you something. All right? That's why Trump said that little poem of the snake. He said, you knew He said, you knew, what do you say? Something about you knew who I was before you took me in. All right? So, hey, man, hey, may the Most High put that heavy judgment on all of you who conform to all this bullshit that's coming, man. All right? Because you conforming means you're going to come against us in the word of the Lord. All right? That's what that means, because it's a battle between good and evil. The people of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, which is the elect, versus the world. So if you come against us, Yahushua said, he that is not with me is against me. All right? So those of us who not those people who are not going to be of us, they're going to be against us directly. All right? And may the Most High cast heavy judgment on every last one of you, man. All right? You're going to go down with this man and with this place. So let's continue.
Maybe that's the future.
But that future isn't too far away.
Now China's government is testing a new social credit score system which would rank its citizens based on their online behavior.
While it
Based on their online behavior. Based on your online behavior, man. So they just hacked into America's social credit, social security, whatever. Okay? Social, right? Social, right? So let's see how this all plays out with this digital social credit, you know what.
fully roll out until 2020, starting this year, China will ban people with a bad score from booking flights and train rides.
There you go. You mentioned that earlier. All right. How about take it a little step further? You can't have a bank account. Okay. You can't buy food. You can't do none of that, because this social credit thing is also going to be predicated on your online behavior, like they said. Now, what is the perfect thing to match you with your online behavior, to identify you, your online self with your real self? All right. No more do you need a straw man. That C-hip is going to be within you. That's going to be the one to identify you on the digital world, right? Because the physical doesn't exist anymore in their world. All right. That's why you're seeing cash being passed out, phased out of the society. Everything is digital, right? So what you do in real life really doesn't matter until you show up on the digital world. And the only way you're going to be visible in the digital world is to have an identity, a digital identity. Okay? And that's going to be done through your, you know what? All right? So it's a design that they're bringing out.
The lawyer who represents clients considered to be untrustworthy by the communist government about what this could mean for the future of China. What are the risks of this kind of program?
国家呢现在在搞大数据，
The state is trying to improve the morals and values of its citizens. Wow. I don't even mean control.
再通过各种
And it has many different ways of obtaining citizens' information.
让你收集公民的这个信息，目前已经
The methods it uses are now quite
达
advanced
到了很先进的地步，无论是道德可能
in terms of both the protection of personal information
诚信道德方面的，
and trust and integrity of our society. See that? It's all tied in. So it's for the greater good. Your behavior needs to be modified for the greater good. Like that devil Larry Fink was saying, the founder of BlackRock. Okay, he said they in his company they incentivize, all right, behavior modification. Okay, so if you're not hitting your goals and your marks, you're not getting no bonuses, right? But they want to force change of behavior in people, force it.
法律制裁方面，
It says the laws and enforcement currently in place are insufficient.
The reliable Kubota
You saw, man, got all these damn. So they're insufficient. So that means that they're gonna have to be the ones to make it sufficient. Something needs to give, right? Let's see.
而我的感觉是你
It says these traps that use technology and other means of control must be used fairly. Oh, she's talking. Hold up.
What do you think of the government's argument that a social credit system will create a more meritocratic society?
这个本来呢，
In theory, this is true. Wow. So a merit, what did she say? Meritocratic society. So it's based on merit, right? Let's look up what that actually means. Okay. Merit. Okay. It says, wow. They're going there with it. All right. They're going there with it. Let's see. Spiritual credit for good works, etc. Spiritual reward wages, pay, reward, thanks, merit, moral worth, that which assures divine pity. Right? So they want to be like the Most High. That's why they're using these kind of technology to bring this type of outcome, right? So favor, worth, value, okay, to earn, to deserve, to acquire, to get a share of something. See? Sense of worthiness, excellence. That's all that social credit shit is gonna do. All right. If you the more you comply, the higher value you pretty much are. You know, the government likes you and people like you and respect you because look, your social credit score is so high. Man, you must be a very, very good citizen in society. But if your social credit score is low, oh, this guy is dangerous, or this guy's an extremist, or this guy's anti so what? So he's a criminal right off the bat. And people like that should not be allowed in society, or they should be punished. How dare they speak up like that when we all quiet and wearing our masks? They want to not have their mask on. But we have to be in line taking the jump shots. They say, nah, they're not going to take it. When we out here taking the C hit, they out here saying, nah, we ain't going to take no C hit. They can't be in society. That's how they're going to be. Family, friends, they all going to do that.
The credit system will create a more meritocratic society.
这个本来的
In theory, this is true. That's right. Because it's going to force people's behavior to change. All right, to comply so they can what? They can gain access to regular basic things in life, which they're still not going to own because you've been told that you own nothing and you be happy. What a miserable world. Fuck out of here talking about we want to live in this shit. No way, man.
是对的啊，这个好人有好报。
It says if you do well, you will be rewarded.
一贯遵纪守法。
If you always follow the law,
但实际上你
if however, there are flaws in the two prerequisites,
由于这个前面我们讲的这个两个前提呢，就是道德环境
Chinese
和
morality and the Chinese legal
法
system,
治环境的这个，如果这两个
if these two environments are not sound, wow,
环境不健全，这个信用体系
then the social credit system
会变味，
will fall
会走样，
it will go astray.
甚至会
It may even change from a system with good intentions
把一个善良的这个愿望产生了
into something very harmful. Very harmful.
But China isn't the only place experimenting with facial recognition applications. An airport in the Middle East is already planning face scanning aquariums as security checkpoints. In Europe, state-sanctioned and private initiatives are testing this technology in multiple locations, from train stations to online classes. And in the US, private companies are investing millions to secure government contracts, which could make machine learning and image recognition a regular part of police work.
You hear that? Let's bring that back. Let's bring that back.
Stations to online classes. And in the US, private companies are investing millions to secure government contracts, which could make
Private companies are working hard to what? To secure government contracts. What are some of these private companies? You have Clear, right? You have DARPA, which really DARPA has ties with the Pentagon directly. Okay, when you see all these Boston Dynamic and all these different companies working, doing all this, showing you these technological advancements with robots and all this stuff, robot dogs running around looking all crazy, you know, they got robots doing flips, 360 flip. I can't do a 360 flip, and that you got a robot doing 360 flips, man. You know, I'm like, yo, what the, yo, them dudes like jump high, they land. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, this gonna be some shit. You know, so I'm looking at all this and I'm like, yeah, man, this is what they're gonna be having to patrol the streets. A damn robot dog that their legs look backwards and shit, and like, yo, you saw, man, full blown clown.
companies are investing millions to secure government contracts, which could make machine learning and image recognition a regular part of police work. Law professor Andrew Guthrie Ferguson is a leading expert on big data policing. He spoke to us about the ramifications that these technologies could present. When you look at China's system of facial recognition and video surveillance, what do you see?
I see the future and it scares me. If you have the capability to identify people and patterns, and you can show association about where you go and why you're going there, it really will change the relationship between citizens and their governments.
In China, the government has heavily invested in these companies developing facial recognition technology. In the US, it's still more in the private sector. Can you explain the difference?
So much of the story of big data policing has been small startup companies, or even sometimes the big tech companies, that are pushing police to use new technologies. One of the open questions is who owns this data? Take police body cams, right? Right now, there is sort of an arms race of people trying to sell police body cameras to policing all across America. All of that data from all of those officers is actually really valuable for other non-law enforcement purposes. You're really capturing patterns of society. And
See, non-law enforcement. What? Let me hear that again.
You're really capturing patterns of society. And if the private companies on law enforcement purposes,
non-law enforcement purposes. Okay, non-law enforcement purposes, man. All right, so that's very interesting to hear. Okay, so it ain't about catching criminals or stopping crime. Okay, it's more about control. Okay, like I said, it's just what this whole thing is all about. Okay, social credit system, MOTB, all these different things being brought out is for control.
Capturing patterns of society. And if the private companies can use that data for other things, even sell it for other reasons, they're going to want to profit. Part of the reason why we've seen this move toward big data policing is because it sounds like an objective move to sort of turn the page from some of the racial tension we've seen after Ferguson and after Baltimore to something that sounds more.
Jake, get ready. All right, Jake got to get ready, man, because this is going to be used against them. All right, Jake uprising, standing up, talking about no more, we need this and we need that. Now it's going to be, we are the Hebrew Israelite. Like, it's going to be that kind of energy. And man, this place is about to get crazy. All right, scripture says what? Who's going to rouse up Judah? Okay, Judah shall be roused up. Okay, like a lion's whelp. All right, so Jake is about to get crazy, man. You know, by the millions. All right, by the millions. Let's go.
Don't worry, this is data driven. The problem is the data comes from us. And if you're not cautious about how you're collecting that information and then using it, you're just going to reify the same biases.
So how slippery is this loop we're standing on? How quickly could this be implemented here?
The technology you see in China exists. It's working, and it can do the same thing here. Right now, our sort of regulatory legislative action just isn't there. We don't have protections to say it couldn't happen. Young people growing up in America today are pretty used to being surveilled by their phones and their Facebooks and their Snapchats and the rest. We might have different constitutional protections, but it's still unsettled. And it's an open question about how we react. And I hope we start asking those questions to react now.
Yep. So there you go. You notice how America came last. They start off showing you the whole video in China, how everything is going in China. And they say, how is this going to affect here in America? Boom. And then he explains exactly how it's already here. All right. We don't even have the regulations to even say that we don't need to use this stuff or we can't use this stuff. These companies are already investing millions into it. So it's already here. All right. It's just a matter of time for the people to be shifted into that new infrastructure. All right. And the easiest way for them to do that, all right, is this right here. Okay. We're going to end it off with that. It's become my favorite precept. All right. Here's the book of Revelation, chapter 13 and verse 16. It says, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. So as we just watched, the causeth is part of the whole social credit system. Okay, the force to comply with this new way of living. The system is there, but now in order for you to get that CHIP, we're going to create it where there'll be a crisis where you're going to have to do what? In order to do what? You're going to have to get the mark. Okay. Revelation 13, continue verse 17. It says, and that no man might buy or sell. So the crisis begins, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. So those who end up identifying themselves digitally by taking the mark, which is known in the Greek as charagma, all right, an incision. Okay, the microchip, RFID microchip, that's the mark. Those who take that mark will be granted access to be able to buy and sell in this new economy, which will tie into their digital identity. Okay, so your digital ID will be your card or your passport. Okay, your pass through this new economy. Okay, it says, here's wisdom, let him that hath understanding count the number of a beast, for his number of a man, and his number is 666, the Chi Psi stigma. Okay, and that's going into the stigma is going into the oh damn, what's that word I'm looking for? Shit, I'm going here real quick. Stigma. Right here, the mark. There you go. Damn. All right, it says mark made on skin by burning with a hot iron. All right, in this case, it says Greek stigma, mark of a pointed instrument. Okay, pointed instrument. That you know what, the thing that they're gonna stick underneath your skin and then squeeze it, and then the C hip comes out of it and it goes right into your underneath your skin. And after that, you'll be able to buy and sell with it. All right. See, it says figurative meaning mark of disgrace or infamy which attaches to a person on account of evil conduct. All right. Stigmas, marks resembling the wounds on the body of Mashiach appearing supernaturally on the bodies of the devout. In other words, the elect. All right. To stigmatize, to mark with a brand or tattoo. Right. So Esau is really going to stigmatize, all right, the mass of the people around the world. Okay. And that's going to be a blemish. All right. A mark of disgrace. And that's why the Most High is going to have to destroy them. Okay. By fire. All right. It says what? Stigmatic. Branding with infamy. Okay. So just to prove that, all right, that word actually says stigma. Okay. Let's go into that root word, the chai sai stigma, right? See what it says here. Stigma. Listen to it.
Strong's G 4742, stigma.
There you go. Stigma. All right. And it says what? A mark pricked in or branded upon the body. All right. You've been stigmatized. To ancient Oriental usage, slaves and soldiers bore the name or the stamp of their master or commander branded or picked out, or picked, slack, or cut into their bodies to indicate what master or general they belong to. So that's why it makes sense why when the Lord comes back, he's going to destroy all these people, because these are, anyone who takes it, you've been branded as a slave or a soldier of Esau Edom, who's the enemy of Yahushua when he comes back. So when he comes back and he's making war against Esau Edom and he whoops his ass, right? What do you think he's going to do to the rest of the people that have chosen Esau to be their master? All right, they get cooked. That's not even a war. You're not going to have to fight you. He's just going to cook you up, burn you up, and you up out of there. Cannon fodder. Okay? So that's exactly what's going to happen to people who end up taking that you know what. All right, let's get that real quick. All right, in the book of Revelation, chapter 14 and verse 9, it says, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, right? You got Elon Musk working on the so-called brain chips. All right, that's the forehead, that your metapon. All right, your meta. Okay, it says the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. All right, that's when the thermonuclear fire comes and what? Destroys this place completely. And you've been warned. And that day is fast approaching. For those of you who want to keep clowning around, just know you're going to partake in that. Okay? It says, and the smoke of their torment ascendeth up forever and ever, and they have no rest day nor night, who worship the beast and his image, and whosoever receiveth the mark of his name. Okay? So that day is fast approaching, man. You know, and all these things is leading to it. As Yahushua said, it's the beginning of sorrows. Okay? Beginning of sorrows. All right? Beginning of sorrows. Okay? So anyway, I'm going to leave it off there. Lord willing, you were edified and informed. In closing, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, B'chak Kadash, the water Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, and until next time, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Barakatham, and Shalom.